You have Irish in you?
I do.
And what else?
Israeli and Italian. Yeah.
Very like Middle Eastern to me. Like when I look at you, I either think Italian or very Middle Eastern. And now that you say, so what's the other one? Italian?
Sicilian.
Israeli and what?
Irish. And French.
And French.
Yeah.
You're a real nut.
I am a mutt. I'm genetically confused.
And I'm a pure breed.
Of what?
Of Russian.
Really? 100%?
100%.
I didn't even think that was possible. That's great. Welcome back to Intentionally Unintelligent. Today we have Mila. Mila's an energy healer. I'm really excited to have her on. We actually met recently at a charity event, me and you.
Right.
And you ended up sitting next to me like out of nowhere, and then we just started talking. You told me what you did, and you looked at me and started like piercing through my soul with like the gaze that you have. And I don't know if that's something that like you've learned to do, just how to read people. Were you born with that talent, or is that something that you like developed over time?
So I was born like we're all born. You know, we're all born intuitive, and it's either you work on your intuition,
Right.
or you don't. When I look at someone, you know, I'm looking at everything. I'm feeling it. I'm sensing it.
Right.
So when I look at you and I look into your eyes, you want to turn away because you don't want me to really see what's inside.
Yeah, I felt that. And I was smiling at the event, and you know, I was in a good mood. I was amongst my peers and my friends, but somehow, some way, you just read everything I was going through at that exact moment. And that's like a really great talent. And do you think like you change lives, like in your trade, like when people come to you, do you feel like spiritually they kind of heal immediately?
Of course. I mean, I've been a healer all my life, right? So I'm a physical therapist. I've been a physical therapist, I think, almost 30 years. I think this year was 29 years.
Right.
And being able to now heal people in a different way, more from that spiritual point of view, more from that soul, you know, that subconscious, that higher self.
Right.
It changes people's lives. It's a life changer. Why? Because you look at things differently. You release some of the things that you need to release so you can go forward in life.
It's true.
You just want to be happy and healthy and abundant, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I feel like I'm one of those people that feel like bad things need to happen to you in your life to truly learn and to truly like, you know, I feel like people that never really go through trials and tribulations, I feel like are probably spiritually blocked a little bit because they don't really know, they don't have an identity. And I feel like when you go through bad things in your life, it's almost like it teaches you a way, like you know what your flaws are, you know like what your traumas are, you know you have to fix because you're in.
Hopefully you know. A lot of people don't know.
It's true. How do you feel about like most people, you know, just going to a doctor and getting on like a pill opposed to maybe looking into other sorts of things that they can do to fix themselves?
I mean, medicine has its place. Energy healing has its place. Everything has its place.
Right.
You know, me personally, before I go for that pill, I will try to find a holistic way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's using herbs for myself, certain supplements, grounding, using some spiritual practices, meditation, or whatever it is. There are a ton of different modalities that you can really use to help yourself in whatever way, right?
Yeah.
So I would try that route. However, you know, people sometimes, that route takes self-awareness and wanting to self-heal.
Mm-hmm.
And not everybody wants to self-heal. They'll complain about it, you know.
Yeah.
But,
like
you
a
know,
pity party.
Right, so if something bad happens, truly I don't believe that something bad happens to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I believe that you get challenges in your life.
Yeah.
As you go through life.
And you learn.
And you learn your lessons.
Yeah.
And if you don't learn your lessons the first time, you're going to learn the lesson the second time because it's going to come around again.
Everything like catches up to people. I feel like, you know, early traumas in people's lives, you know, the stuff that they dealt with as a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that it's gone. You know,
not.
I watched one of your videos on TikTok, and you brought up something about like repressed memories and rage, and then if you don't deal with them, then they're eventually going to come out. And I've noticed like in my older age that it's starting to like come out more and more. And I know like now that if I don't address it a certain way and I don't do things to kind of heal myself and take steps to better myself, you know, it'll just be a lifelong thing. And that's how you develop bad habits. You become a toxic human being, you know, and being self-aware, I feel like, is extremely important. But sometimes you need like a push. I feel like you give people a certain push. You're very honest, and which is amazing. You know, some people like.
I am very honest. You know, the problem is that when I see something, I get fired up.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, releasing energy is great, but I think what's important is if I could use my wisdom, if I can use my intuition, and speak what needs to be spoken.
Right.
In the way it needs to be spoken, because sometimes, you know, I can be very sweet and very kind and give you that, you know,
it's all gonna be
it's
okay.
okay, you know.
That doesn't help nobody.
But sometimes people come in, and I had this yesterday. A woman came in and she was having a pity party for herself, and because of the pity party, her life wasn't going forward, and she was just stuck and stagnant.
That's usually most people.
And she wanted the truth. Boy, did I give her the truth.
I
gave her more than she bargained for, but at the end she said thank you, because this was preventing her from having a relationship with a very loved one that she has,
right.
You know? And a lot of the times, you know, we go through life, and what happens when we have such a painful experience, especially when it has to deal with a loved one, you know, us beings, we're emotional.
Yeah, very.
Right?
Very, yeah.
But you have to use your emotions as a guidance, not as a nuclear fucking reactor.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's what happens. When someone says something to you, you'll get triggered, and bingo, that rage comes right out.
Yeah, that's usually like
right?
that's usually most people go to anger. And I feel like that's like the most horrible way you could be. You know, trying to find a way to be peaceful is like the goal for everybody. Nobody wants to feel these you know, this type of energy. You know, they don't want to be angry all the time.
No.
They're just not aware on how to fix it. And I feel like it's knowledge, it's information, it's maybe looking up different ways and means and methods. Like what works for me personally is like I like to go work out. If I don't, you know, I don't release like the endorphins at the end of the day,
right.
I'm not going to be okay. Let's just say I go eat fast food, you know, or I have a bad meal.
Right.
I know that that's not going to work. And every morning I'll take ashwagandha and, you know, alpha brain and all the vitamin D, vitamin C, stuff that just keeps my body.
Why do you take ashwagandha?
I don't know, because like they
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because
it's like a good thing.
So you're taking something, but you don't know why you're taking it?
It just sounds like very good for me, and I feel like
fuck's sake,
I'm going
who
to
does
take
that?
it. Yeah, I don't know. I also take black sea moss. I don't know if that's good for me at all either. But if it comes from the ocean, it probably is, right?
So you know what I do is I believe that your innate knows absolutely everything. So I would give you something to hold, and you would hold, and I would manually muscle test and ask you, is this for your highest and greatest good? And your body would speak to me. Because I don't prescribe medication, nor do I tell anybody. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, you know, I'm an energy healer and I'm a physical therapist. So I don't, you know, I can tell you what I take, but I take whatever my body needs, and that's what I do. I take something in my hand and I say, is this for my highest and greatest good? And my body tells me, what do I need? So it's interesting that you take the ashwagandha.
I love it.
Why?
I don't know. It's definitely making a difference.
In what?
Something. Something.
Which part of you?
I don't know.
Is it making you happier? Is it keeping you calmer? Is it?
I take so many things in the morning, like supplements, that I don't know like what's really working. I know that like since I started, like I used to be very heavy and I used to have a really bad diet and all that, and I felt awful. I know that when I started switching things around, taking more supplements that, you know, people recommended, looking into all that and taking the right steps, working out and doing things that make me happy. I know that I genuinely feel better. Do I know what?
Do you know what your kidneys are doing?
No, I probably don't. I should probably check them out.
I mean, I would suggest you go to the doctor and get an annual and just, you know, take a blood work and see what your kidneys and your liver are doing. You know, herbs are great, but you have to make sure that you're not overtaking it and that you're able to take things together.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's important to... usually people who take ashwagandha, like I know that works very well for people who have a lot of anxiety. But it's not like you take it and it calms you down. It's a supplement that you have to get into your system. So, you know, like 6 weeks later, people start to feel better.
Yeah. I don't know if I have anxiety. I think I'm like an anxious person. I feel like I have such like a view of the future. Like, does that tie into each other? Anxiety and anxious?
Isn't that the same word?
I don't know. I don't know. Is there a difference?
No, it's the same. You're anxious. You have anxiety.
Mila, you know what
You're worried.
You know what
You're nervous.
You know what the background of this podcast is? Like what I label myself?
What?
The world-class moron. I definitely said like 2 or 3 pretty moronic things. You know?
We all say something stupid.
Yeah, I know, but ashwagandha. I don't know what it does. I just take it. You know.
So ashwagandha is very good. It's an herb that's used for calming.
Yeah.
You know, and
It definitely does.
my question is, what's the underlying issue? Unresolved stress. Why you feel like you have the nervousness? Because the way you're dealing with it is you're going to the gym and you're taking vitamins, but that energy sits in you, and you know.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to like myself, I just always expect more. I'm always on the go. I'm always chasing things. I'm always trying to I'm always trying to do something different. Until like I have a view of like what my life is, and I know like if I get in a certain setting, like everything will be complete. What I'm like going through right now is I'm learning. Sometimes what people do is they try to fill in the empty spaces with company that they shouldn't keep. You know, like they'll settle for somebody very negative in their life and very toxic.
Oh yeah,
that's something I felt victim of forever, because I had a problem being alone. I wasn't comfortable being alone. I didn't like it. So no matter like as soon as somebody kind of showed me attention that they were going to be present, they came into my life and I held them there for longer than I should have. And
why?
It was more like a comfortability thing. Like I had somebody else there present, which made me feel calmer. You know, and I learned throughout the years, like I was alone for a while and single and not in a relationship, and I learned that there's certain things that I could do to fill in those spaces myself. And I feel like that is like a never-ending path to like, not a never-ending path, that's a straight path to, you know, fixing yourself for the next person. Because I feel like if you're with a partner, they see that like you're just kind of trying to fill in the spaces. But if you're already whole and you're with somebody, I feel like that attracts somebody that's kind of similar. But if you're going through bad things and you know you have unhealthy habits, it's going to attract somebody that's wrong for you. And that's something that I've kind of picked up on throughout the years. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
You know. Because
if you vibrate at a certain frequency, the person that you meet has to vibrate very close so you could jive. Yeah. Right? Because if you're vibrating here and the other person is vibrating here, you could be sitting, you know, in a cafe together. And you could be soulmates. If you're not on the same level as that person, you're not even going to see each other there. Yeah. She'll keep sipping her coffee and you'll be sitting there.
It's like when you're on a bad date and like you just keep looking up into the sky and you want nothing more than to leave. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that happened to me a couple of times in my life. Yeah? Yeah. One time.
How'd that make you feel?
Pretty bad. One time I pulled the bathroom trick.
Yeah. And you never came back?
Yeah, I left.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know it was that bad.
That poor girl. Now imagine what you did to her. Like confidence.
Probably not good things.
No.
Probably not. It was definitely a regret. You know, it just.
But you learned from it.
I learned from it, but I feel like I'm a conversationalist, and I feel like if I go out and like we're not talking for an hour straight, you know, and then I'm just like eating my penne vodka and nobody's having a conversation with each other, something may be wrong. Unless this person's just nervous, you know. I guess they.
So why don't you ask them? Are you nervous?
I feel like if I ask somebody that, it'll make them more nervous.
Why don't you use your intuition and feel if they're nervous?
Because I'm still learning from you. Like I need to be.
You're learning from me?
Yeah.
I just met you.
I know. Well, I said no, you did. This is twice. This is twice. Yeah. The energy radiates. It's coming on to me a little bit.
You got a lot to release, though. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see it?
I do.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't say that so I don't embarrass you.
No, you can say anything you want.
Confidence, maybe a little confidence.
Nowadays it's a lot better. Like when I was younger, like I said, like physically I wasn't in shape, and it took me like a while to kind of like sculpt myself to the way I wanted it to be. So is it a work in progress? I would say like not really, but confidence in the like I'm not a complacent person. Like I'm not comfortable like where I'm at. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of men are like this. They always want to do better, and every man wants to make the money and be the provider, and you know I'm always chasing that.
Do you think every man wants that?
I would hope so. Not every man, but I would hope the majority of men would do that.
I hate to break the news to you. Yeah. Not every man is like that. Those are your beliefs. Not everybody has the same belief.
It should be. I feel like the man should be the provider and do their best to try to hold things down. I don't know when in like society that became like non-existent. That like the man doesn't want to hold down the house. I know the economy's tough. It's a 2-income household.
I think it was the female movement. The women wanted to be free.
Yeah,
we changed the beliefs. that the man has to be the breadwinner.
Now you guys are working
Because
all the time.
It's okay that we're working all the time. You know what? If they would put us in that country of ours and put a lot of women in there, we'd probably do better than what's happening.
I don't disagree.
Here.
I don't disagree. I just feel like
you know what I mean?
I would like to stay home. I would make a great house husband. You know, I would.
Really?
I would sweep for the floors. I'd make dinner.
Dinner?
Yeah.
What would you make for dinner?
I would make anything. I would text if my wife was a working
Do you know how
woman.
to cook?
I do. I'm a great cook.
Really?
I am.
Okay.
That's one of the good traits about myself.
What else?
What, like a good trait about
Yeah.
myself? Loyal.
You're loyal.
Big time. Big time. Yeah.
Are you sensitive?
Yes. Without a doubt. I think you know that already.
I do.
Yeah.
I just want to know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I'm definitely self-aware. 100%.
What are your flaws? Do you have any flaws?
I do. I definitely have flaws.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I think that I'm like so loyal. Like when I'm in a relationship, I feel like society's weird nowadays, you know, and I feel like social media kind of like took place in that. And like when I'm in a relationship, I'm giving my all to somebody.
Right.
100% of the time. Like I truly like won't bat an eye at somebody else. Like that's like morally, I just can't do that.
Right.
Because that person is there for you 100% of the time. They're laying with you at the end of the night.
Yeah.
You open up to them.
Right.
And I feel like,
You don't shit where you sleep.
Yeah, to betray that person is something that I can't do morally.
That's integrity.
Yeah, so if somebody's showing me that they're not 100% on the same page as me, then I'll get cold. And instead of leaving that person, I'll shut down and I'll get quiet. And then I just
But you don't leave that person.
No, which makes
Why
me
is that?
which is a toxic trait that I'm doing, that I'm staying in that relationship, and then I'm getting quiet, and then I'm shutting down, which is worse. Why don't I leave that person? I believe in like second chances. I believe that people could kind of like repair something. I believe that people could, fix their problems. But it's only through like actually getting help. Making adjustments, making changes, trying to better your life. And like that's why I started this. Like this is a big outlet for me. To come on here and talk to different people, and
It's a lot of fun.
it makes me happy. Yeah, it makes me happy. So like this is just another thing. People need to find outlets and releases, and go on a hike, something. Just find like something, like a hobby, and then that'll make you feel better.
Of course,
And if you need help,
creative.
like mentally, mental health's a huge problem in this country. I feel like
Yeah, I agree with you.
yeah, you got to make adjustments. You have to go out there, and it's embarrassing for some people because they don't want to come to like the realization that they're not well. But they don't think because they're in such a negative frame of mind that they could get better. But like you said, get out of that pity party. Get out there.
Yeah.
Make the people that hurt you realize like how much they messed up. Go out there and prove to them that like you are worth it.
You don't have to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah.
Instead of going out there and proving to someone else, wish them love.
Yeah.
Work on yourself, and release the shit that hurts you inside about those people.
That's true.
That's
a good point.
Because just to point it in their face, they don't really care because they're already gone.
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
They're lost.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah.
It's over with.
For sure.
And you're sitting there feeling like crap. It only, an issue only bothers you. It doesn't bother anybody else but you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If you have a conflict with someone, the other person goes on their way.
Yeah.
And then you sit there and you're like thinking it over, mulling it over.
Yeah.
Should have done it this way, could have done it this way, should have said this, should have said that, should have acted this way, right?
Yeah, just do
and
things
then
for yourself.
Right, and it bothers you, so instead, you just release it, you wish the person well. Some people come into our lives for a very small amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
They come in to teach you a lesson. Sometimes it's a painful lesson. Learn the lesson, wish them well, thank them for the lesson, and go forward in your life.
It's true. Do you feel like there's it's an actual thing, like energy itself, like there's positive and there's negative energy? Like it's an actual
I really got to teach you a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there is. But is there like a science behind it, like do you think, or do you think that...
I mean, energy is scientific, right? Energy is science.
Mm-hmm.
Einstein said energy cannot be, created nor destroyed. It can just be transformed.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is energy. Your hand is energy. If I would take a microscope and I would put your hand under the microscope and magnify it, what would I see?
Right.
I would see cells, right? You magnify it a little bit more, you see molecules, you magnify it 1 billion times more, and you see an atom. And what's inside that atom? All it is energy zipping around at the speed of light, okay? And that's science.
Right.
I take it you didn't go to college?
I did some college.
But not energy classes.
I didn't go to energy class, no.
I'm playing with you.
I was more like a wood shop type
You don't
of guy.
need to go to college. Not everybody needs to, to go to college.
I was good at wood shop.
College is not for everybody.
I knew how to cut like a 4x4, which is pretty cool. You know?
I don't know how to do that.
No?
No.
I can teach you. You can teach me about energy, I can teach you how to cut
Yes.
a 4x4. Yeah.
So energy is everything.
Yeah.
And energy needs to flow. We as humans need to flow, right?
Yeah.
The emotions that we feel, that's energy.
Do you take anything in your life, like do you have a daily routine on how to keep your like energy clear? Then do you take steps throughout the entire day?
Yeah,
I feel like the audience would love to hear like what you personally do.
What I do when I get up in the morning?
Yeah, till the night, like what do you go through throughout the day to keep your peace?
So when I wake up in the morning, I say what I'm grateful for, the first thing that comes into my mind. And then I say something that I'm proud of myself for. Okay? So whether I'm truly feeling proud of myself, I find something that I am still proud of myself. You know, I do my business. I go outside every day to walk my dog, and I truly call up God and I have a conversation with him. I give my thank you, you know, for keeping us healthy and safe and protected. If I need something, I ask, you know, what it is that I'm looking for. I ask for blessings, for protection. I ask to be pushed in the direction of where I need to be for my highest and greatest good.
You do this every day?
Every single day. I call upon my higher self, my spirits, my angels, all my guides, and I ask for the most benevolent outcome.
Do you feel them present?
I know that my spirits, I know my grandmother is always around me, right? I know that my guardian angel is always there. Sometimes I can hear. Sometimes I can't, but I know that I'm always being pushed in a direction, and I always ask, give me discernment and show me, and my intuition be at 100%. And if I am, for some reason, wrong, it's not because I was wrong, it's because that's the path I was supposed to take, right? Because sometimes we think we're wrong. And I give, you know, gratefulness and thank you. And I ask for what I need, because when you put it out there, it comes back to you. You know, the energy that you put out, I always ask that whoever I come in contact with, that it is benevolent, that there's no conflict, you know, that I meet nice people along my way and have a beautiful day.
That's all like I'm looking for in life, is just to have like nice people around me. Good intentions, nice people.
But sometimes people are not, and then, you know, like, and sometimes we're in New Jersey, so you know how people drive here? Yeah, pretty bad.
Pretty bad. I mean, it's worse in New York.
It is, but thank God we're not in New York and we're in New Jersey.
I was in Sheepshead Bay today.
Yeah, how was it?
There's just a lot of traffic.
Yeah,
I got a roller roaster though. You ever been there?
Of course I've been there.
That's a good spot.
I grew up in the Bronx.
Did you?
I did.
Where in the Bronx?
West 197th Street.
All right. I'm a Brooklyn boy.
Are you?
15th and 74th. Yeah,
Okay.
Bensonhurst. Yeah.
And Bensonhurst.
Bensonhurst. You can't tell?
I could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell. Who can't tell with that accent?
When did you move out here?
So I got here in 1985.
Oh, you've been in Jersey for a while.
Yes. So
They're like building a lot out here. I don't like it.
They're taking the suburbs and making them into like, I don't know.
Like an urban area. They're trying to build too many things and like.
Well, because land is very expensive, so now it doesn't make sense to get a huge house and pay, you know, what are they, $1.5 million?
That's got to even out.
Instead, they build apartments.
That's got to even out. I feel like the economy and like the country itself, like, you know, everything is so hard. I feel like that's bad energy. They need to fix that. They need to fix what's going on there.
We are, but you know what? Like I always say, every great empire came to a crescendo and then they plummeted, right? And in order for things to get better, things have to collapse. And as you could see, things are collapsing. And it's in the stars. You know, Pluto went into Aquarius. And it's in the stars that we're going to be transforming and moving into something new. You know, time has sped up a little bit. Things happen very quickly. People are awakening all of a sudden.
People are very much more aware because they're all connected online. Like, so everybody kind of knows that.
Well, we're all connected, period. What people don't realize is that we are all connected in the consciousness. And I think that science is going to start talking about it very, very soon. You know, all the studies on consciousness and how we are truly connected, and that this is just physical.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe in astrology?
I do.
So I'm a Leo, and I'm hearing like a lot of. Oh, you knew that.
I like Leos. I have a Leo in me. I'm an Aquarius.
Okay.
But I have a little Leo in me too. That gives me my fire.
So like, what is it like? What consists of a Leo, and do I fit like the Leo persona?
Well, I don't know you very well. You know, I just got to know you, but with a little yes. You know, you have a lot of pride in you. Yes.
Too much pride. I
feel and like a little ego.
I feel like pride is like, one of the 7 deadly sins. You probably like too much pride is not good.
Pride, as a matter of fact, in my eyes, is a almost negative emotion, because when your pride gets injured,
yeah, you're an animal.
That causes a lot of issues for people. It causes a lot of heartache. It causes a lot of issues.
Right.
And so it's an emotion that you should have a good self-esteem about you.
Yeah.
Everybody should have a good
sure.
worth, self-esteem, self-value. But a lot of pride, I don't know about that.
That's one of my flaws. We just caught another one. A lot of pride.
Yeah.
A lot of pride.
Well, you're a Leo.
What else do Leos
And
do?
Leos always like to be petted,
in the right direction.
In the right direction.
You said that to me the other day.
You know,
do you remember that?
I do. Of course I remember that.
Yeah, that's
I was drinking a seltzer with a lot of lime.
I was drinking a beer with ice.
Yes.
It was awful. You ever had a beer with ice before?
No, but I had a beer with clamato and some lime. It's called a michelado.
Ooh.
Oh my God, so good.
That sounds fancy.
So you take a glass, you put a little, swiv it in the salt.
That's nice.
And then what you do is you take clamato, half a lime or a whole lime, and then you keep filling it up with the beer. So you fill it up a little bit, and then as you keep drinking, for the summertime by the pool, oh my God.
You're chock full of information.
So good.
Yeah,
I know.
I usually just swig
and
out of
I don't even drink.
I usually swig out of a bottle. The past 2 episodes, I'm over here swinging out of a bottle like a hoodlum. Next time I'm going to bring a bottle of Old English.
Like a hoodlum. You are a hoodlum. You're from Bensonhurst.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. Just a bunch of hoodlums from Bensonhurst on, yeah. And then everybody from my neighborhood wants to come on
Neighborhood.
Now. Yeah.
Of course they do, because they think you're a star. So let me tell you something.
I'm manifesting.
I have a friend whose name is Sally G.
Ooh, Sally G.
It's Sally.
Cooge.
And we used to watch our kids, in the swimming pool.
Mm.
And so he moved out, but we kept in contact. And one day he saw one of my YouTube channels, and all I hear on Facebook is, "Oh my God, you're a star! My Mila is a star." I'm going to myself, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, you blew up on TikTok. That was really cool.
I worked very, very hard.
Yeah, you do a lot on there for sure.
I put it out.
Where could they find you, the audience, on TikTok?
Oh God, everybody always asks me, and I never know. But I know this one. My TikTok is Mila Energy Healing. Okay. Do you know that I have 5 imposters there? They're stealing my stuff. Mm. They have 2,000 of my followers.
Ooh, they got 2,000 of them?
Using my own stuff. And then they're calling people and saying to them, "You want a reading?" I don't give readings. I would never do that.
How would they do that, though, if you're not there?
They just scam the money. The people pay, and there's no reading. Reading like this, you get a reading. Because I don't do readings.
You shouldn't have a little Italian in you?
No.
You might. I think we need to do a 23andMe. Because you got the hand motions,
I mean, look where I grew up.
In the Bronx?
Well, no, I was there. No. In the Bronx, I moved when I was 13.
Oh, all right.
To East Brunswick.
All right.
So I grew up with the Jews and the Italians. Mm-hmm. In the suburbs of New Jersey.
I got a lot of Ashkenazi Jew in me. A lot.
I did too.
But I was raised Catholic, but my grandmother is a Jew. And she, throughout my life, every time I got my sacraments, you just saw her there. She's like, oh, this is ridiculous.
She wasn't too happy. You're just the way you are. Mm-hmm. Is good enough. Nobody needs to accept you.
I haven't been to church in a while. What religion do you identify with, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm Jewish.
So you go to temple still and all that stuff?
I don't go to temple because women in the Jewish religion don't need to go to temple. God is everywhere for us, and we can stay home and talk to Him. So the men need to go. The women truly do not need to go. I do light candles on Friday night, and I'm not Orthodox,
right.
And I'm not even conservative.
Yeah, my grandmother used to have the Christmas tree up, and then right next to it the menorah.
The menorah.
Yeah, because I want to open presents.
Yeah, so our family has always been blended.
Mm-hmm.
I had a husband who was Cuban, and obviously he wasn't Jewish,
Mhm.
you know. My parents were both Jewish, so.
That's what like old Brooklyn used to be, right? I mean, like Flatbush and Canarsie and
Yeah,
all that
a
used
lot
to
of Russian Jews. So the Jews that came in the 80s
Where
from
did they?
Russia.
Where did they go?
They were sitting right there, here next to you.
Yeah, I know we got one, but like where are the rest of them? Like,
Who?
Just like the Jews that grew up in like Flatbush and like Canarsie, like the Americanized Jews that were like what were they?
The Russians?
Second generation?
The Russian Jews?
Well, like it would be
The Ashkenazi
Ashkenazi.
Jews. They were the ones that came from Eastern Europe.
That's what I am, like Ashkenazi Jewish.
Right, like I am. So your parents or someone came from
It's a
Eastern
Belarus.
Europe.
Yeah, it's a Belarus.
Right. So I had a grandfather from Belarus,
Mm.
and then I had my other ones were from Ukraine. But during the war, when World War II broke out, they fled to Uzbekistan
Ooh.
on trains because it was safe. So 2 grandfathers went to war, and the grandmothers were put on trains and sent over to Uzbekistan, and they settled there after the war. And my parents were born there, and I was born there, and I came here when I was 7.
Really?
Yeah, in the Bronx.
I don't know if I had anybody in my family that was in the war. My grandfather Dennis, he went to Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he came back and a lot went on over
Trauma.
there. Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
You know, we do a lot of emotion code on people who have had trauma in the military. And
Do you actually have people that you heal that are ex-military?
Oh, we work on a lot of ex-military. It's trauma, you know. There's also another very good modality that's not the emotion code, but it's called neuroemotional technique. And that neuroemotional technique was actually on Grey's Anatomy show, where they do very much. I took this course. I saw a few flaws with it because with the emotion code, as long as the subconscious realizes the issue, we can release it. And with the neuroemotional technique, you have to cognitively remember the traumatic event. And let me tell you something. There's nothing like being in a room of like 400 doctors and acupuncturists and everybody else, and they pick somebody and they release something and you start to cry uncontrollably, like you totally lose it, you know, like totally lose it.
You would have to be like a little, you'd be the best for like 2 days. Be like, damn, I cried in front of 400 people.
It's okay. It's emotion, you know? Emotion comes out different ways, and it's not always crying. See, when the energy starts to leave, so when I work on somebody and energy starts to leave, some people don't cry. Some people uncontrollably laugh. Like I say the emotion of, you know, despair, and they go hysterical on me. Or some people get the itchy. Some people start to get very dizzy. Lightning comes out of their hands and feet. Some people start to burp. I got one client. It's all in her stomach. The energy is always in her stomach because she's always very worried and nervous and anxious and despair, you know, disgust.
Is she doing better now?
Yes, she's come a long way, you know.
How many sessions does she usually do?
So everybody is different, you know. Some people are like children, for example, okay? Sometimes it's 1-2 sessions, done.
And they're good.
And they're good because there's an underlying problem. When we clear that problem, done. The issue goes away, 1-2 visits. The more trauma you have, the more issues you have, the older you are, the more you live life, the more you experience life, the more emotional baggage you pick up, the more times it takes to clear.
Right.
So, you know, when I became ill, I was in my 40s, like my late 40s. It took me like 2.5 years to clear all my shit.
Really? Oh,
Well,
so you
yeah.
actually fell into like, you were ill, like you were physically ill?
Oh, I was ill. I was very ill.
What happened?
I had severe pain. I had migraines. My face was totally numb. I was anxious. I was depressed. I was nervous.
Did they diagnose you with anything?
Oh, they diagnosed me with like 100 different, you know, this one said I had trigeminal neuralgia. This one said I had occipital neuralgia.
Oh, thanks,
This
Doc.
one said that I was just sheer crazy. This one said, oh, this is your neck, you know, your arthritis in your neck.
A doctor told you were crazy after you got 2 diagnoses by
Oh, I had tooth pain. I went to a million doctors. I was in the hospital 3 times. My blood pressure was... And he was the closest one. When he said to me, I was just nuts. Only he said it to me in the Jewish term, and he said, Mila, you have mishigas. Because I said to him, I can't swallow. I feel like I have
That
something
sounds
here.
worse.
I can't swallow. And he says, it's all mishigas.
I'm
And
going,
I'm
did you just tell me to go fuck myself?
Yeah. And he said to me, you know, you're looking very skinny to me. And this is a doctor that I had worked with for many, many years.
I would have probably said,
It was my nervous
thank
system.
you.
It was my nervous system. I had a glitch in my nervous system, you know, from what?
What?
Stress.
And then you just...
And I melted down under the stress. I just melted. It was like stress upon stress upon stress, more stress, more stress.
That's cool that, like, because you actually, you could speak from experience.
Well, yeah.
I was going to ask you that question earlier, is that, like, have you been through, like...
Oh, I had a very, very interesting life.
Yeah, like...
We could make a show on it's Mila's life.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Like, challenging. You've been through some stuff.
Oh my God. Since very, the emotions that I absorbed from even before I was even born in utero. You know why? Because my parents were young and they were like, got married at a very young age. Mom was like 18, dad was barely like, 22. And bingo, mom got pregnant, she's in college, and things didn't go so well. By the time I was born, they split and they weren't together for like 7 months.
Oh.
So the emotions that I picked up from my mother.
You think it happens like in the womb? You think that's where it
starts? I don't think, I know. It even starts even before. Look at all the generational stuff you can get from generations before.
I gotta ask my parents if they had like a little breakup. I'm gonna call them.
You don't have to ask your parents. We can manual muscle test you and ask you.
I'm terrified. I feel like you're gonna bring up some stuff about me that I'm not ready
to
hear.
But hold on a minute. But here's the beauty about the subconscious. It's your gatekeeper, so it will never release whatever it's not ready to go and do. And this is why I like the principles of the emotion code. We stay in we do not insult the body. As a physical therapist, I was taught always by Marie L. Faris, who does magical hands. She travels all over the country and she teaches people myofascial release, and she's great and she's funny. She's an interesting one to have on your show. But my whole point of the matter is, she always taught me never insult the body. The body is non-forgiving. So if you go into a fascia and you go too hard and you insult it, it won't forgive you. So with everything that you do, you cannot insult the body, and it has to be safe.
What are some examples of insulting the body?
Going somewhere where the body is not ready to go.
Wouldn't that be a mental thing, or it all ties into?
Oh, it could be a mental, or it could come out as a physical thing. If I go in too hard into your shoulder and insult that muscle is going to be very sore and talk to you later on. You're going to be in excruciating pain. When you go to physical therapy, you come back and you say, I'm in worse pain now than I was when I went in.
Yeah, they beat me up in there.
It was the physical therapist, but sometimes you are very sore. My patients are all bruised and sore.
Yeah.
They call me the Russian hammer.
The Russian hammer.
That was like a slow. You're slow.
That was good.
You called yourself what you did.
The Russian hammer. That's great. You sound like a WWE wrestler. That's a good one.
Oh, I'm tough, but I treat traumas. This is gonna go viral.
I believe it is.
Yeah, why not?
It's definitely gonna go viral.
People like real people, like genuine people.
That's like the whole vibe with this, It's just being authentic, coming on here, just being yourself. It's somebody like you's in the public eye, so you can come on here and just be like unapologetically you. And that's
I'm always unapologetically myself.
I know. It's when I seen you the other night, I was like, she would be good. I think I called Amanda and I was like, you have to have her on ASAP.
Thank you.
And you actually showed like immediately. That was sweet. That was sweet of you to do.
Yeah, I told you because I saw that you just started.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I truly believe in helping and giving back. So giving a little bit of my time to help someone, who can do some good for others, because you never know. You know what? Somebody's going to be listening and they hear something, and it could save them, or it can give them some hope, or it can give them a direction where they can go. Yeah. When you throw a pebble into the water, you will always get a ripple. So if you just let it flow and let it go, eventually it will ripple back somehow.
That's a good point.
So even this, I said, I'm going to go. Let's see what happens from it.
Yeah, definitely. I want to take like the audience for a ride. I want them to laugh one episode, be a little shell shock, it gets a little raunchy. Then I have like this.
I don't like the raunchy. I like the laughter. But are you funny?
Like if I get into it,
Yeah?
for sure.
Yeah, I like to see you funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, I feel like I don't know how to be like hysterical without being a little raunchy. I feel like it kind of ties into each other.
So you have to be raunchy to be funny.
No, like, but sarcasm and stuff like that,
Well, you can do sarcasm.
I could definitely do sarcasm.
Yeah.
We were just in a very deep conversation about spiritual healing.
Yeah.
You want me to start busting your balls? We can start doing that right now, And you get it right back to me.
Oh, believe you and me, you will get it right back.
I know.
Oh my
it's like
God.
a big battle between Bronx and Brooklyn right now.
I don't know. It's one Ashkenazi to another.
That's true. We are part of the tribe.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
But I have no tattoos.
We gotta use that. I'm part of it.
He's like, and I'm gonna take you to go get one.
You have no tattoos?
0. You want to see?
You don't believe in them?
Not that I don't believe in them. I'm the kind of person where like, what if I get it and then like tomorrow I don't want it anymore?
That's why you have to just keep getting them.
You know?
You have to keep getting them.
It's
because
like,
that one's gonna overtake the one you don't want anymore, and that one's gonna.
But I could put something else on myself if I really wanted to.
Like a necklace.
I could put a necklace. I could put an earring. I could put whatever. Like I don't feel like Besides, I'm a little bit afraid of the pain. To tell you the truth.
It's brutal. It doesn't feel good. Like some people say it's therapeutic.
Therapeutic? You got one right in the middle of your throat. How therapeutic could it be?
Whoever says that, I'm just going to refer right to you. Because that's not therapeutic. If that's what you need for therapy, to get a needle in your...
In your throat?
Yeah.
Because you have like a tiger.
A panther.
What would make you get a panther with teeth right on your throat? Is it because your throat chakra is closed and you can't really speak what you need to? So you have this panther sitting there?
We stretched the hell out of that one. I just like panthers. I don't know.
People always ask, made you do it.
I don't know. I just like the artwork. People say, like, what's your most meaningful tattoo? What tattoos do you like? Why did you get that one? Why did you get that one? I'm like, there's no reason. Like, oh, did you get the koi fish because you believe in rebirth? Did you get a Hanyu mask? Did you believe in, like, jealousy and stuff? I was like, no, it looks cool. It's a Japanese sleeve. Why did you get a tiger on you? Do you feel like you're a tiger in the wild? And I'm like, no, I just like tigers, and it looks nice on my own. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I feel like you should get a sleeve, and we just do whatever the hell, like just anything. Like, nothing meaningful. Let's just get something that looks cool.
Yeah, so what happens when we fast forward, and you're like, plus 40 years or plus 50 years, plus 40 years, plus 30 years, right? And those muscles that you once built and you worked so freaking hard for.
They're here to stay. I hope. I'm so scared.
That's what all the guys say about their hair.
Oh my God, that would kill me. If that went away, I don't know. I would have to buy like every hat in the world.
That's a confidence thing. Self-esteem. Who cares?
I care. I like it. I like my hair.
And if you didn't have hair, there are a ton of bald guys. There's nothing wrong with it.
I would wear a Yankee hat for the rest of my life, like as I sleep too.
Oh, we need to work on you. And what happens to your tattoos when your arms are like this and the skin is hanging and it's not the same anymore and your tiger loses its...
That's in like 40 years from now. I feel like there's going to be some sort of like regeneration skin surgery by then. You thinking about that because there's probably gonna
be. Okay. Just like
every day
everybody blows up their lips now because that's the thing to do. You too?
Talking to the camera.
There's a ton of women that blow up their lips. They're beautiful women.
They're all doing it.
It's terrible. Do you know what that silicone and all whatever that stuff that they put in, what it does to their own lips?
I think it looks good. I like the. You
like the little like this? What does it remind you of? Because
what are you getting at?
Yeah, what are you getting at? Like when you like it when I like that. Well, what goes through your mind when you see that?
Damn, those some nice lips.
Yeah, I
like those.
And then.
And then you know.
And then you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I'm a man, so.
Good conversation.
I'm not crazy about like the plastic surgery though. I don't care about like the plastic surgery though.
You know, everybody should do what makes them happy.
Like a BBL, I'm not a big fan.
What is a BBL?
It's a Brazilian butt lift.
Oh yes. Oh my God, you can't sit on your ass for like 6 months after that. And let me tell you something.
What, you stand?
Hold on a minute. Stop right there. I had a physical therapy patient that had that BBL.
Yeah.
And things didn't work out so well for her ass.
What did it look like?
A mangled ass because she got a massive infection.
No.
And they had to take the BBL out.
What actually? it's just like they're removing fat from another part of your body and putting it in your ass, no?
No, sometimes they do implants.
Like an ass implant?
Like an ass implant. I'm
Really?
telling you, you can't sit on your ass for like six months after that.
What if you have an office job?
You stand.
What if you have a podcast?
You stand with a Veridesk, with your ass out, and look pretty as everybody walks around.
That sounds awful.
Oh, it's painful. I don't know. I just feel like you have to be comfortable in your own skin. You have to love yourself just the way you are, you know? And you look at me like, do I look wrong to you at any point? You know? Is there anything that's wrong with me that you see?
No.
Okay. But I'm not 30 or 40 years old.
That's what I mean. Like, if people are gonna like, you know, get a little older, then like let them just get a little older. You know. I feel
Yeah,
like
but everybody, all my friends, they're all a lot of my friends, a lot of them are injected, and they say to me, Mila, you need to pick up a little bit, and I'm like, listen, if you don't like the way I look, don't look at me.
Oof.
Because once I was injected, I'm not gonna lie.
With what? Botox?
Botox. I did Botox. My eyes drooped. My eye drooped. My nose drooped. I was like a rhinoceros. My kid kept on asking me, Ma, are you angry? And as the days went on, he kept on asking me, Ma, are you sure you're not angry? By day 3, I was pissed.
Yeah.
Everything felt like that.
One time my aunt came home
my God,
and
it was
like
terrible.
she's older, my great aunt. She came home and her face was different. And this was a long time ago, so I didn't know like Botox existed. And then I was like, what the fuck happened to your face? She's like, what do you mean? And then I probably shouldn't have asked her that question. She got pretty offended. And then she's like,
That's
oh,
a way to ask.
yeah, because like she was an older woman. She was a beautiful older woman.
Exactly. You don't say that to a beautiful older woman.
And then like she changed her face. It was all swollen. And then I said like, what the fuck did you do with your face? She's like, oh, I got Botox. She's like, how do I look? I'm like a lizard. I'm like, you need to.
Too much. It was too much.
It was way too much.
I mean, listen. As we age, yes, it's you know, we wanna be the same as we were before. We don't want our skin to hang and we don't want our eyes to droop, and we want to have the same lips and the same cheeks and the
I
same
don't
everything.
want my tattoos to droop. So like if there is like a
And
thing,
they're going to.
and you know what? If my hair, like if I lose my hair, I'm going to Turkey. For some reason, that's like their main trade over there. Did you know that? They do like hair transplants.
Turkey?
Yeah, it's like a big thing in Turkey. That's their main export. Hair transplants.
Really?
Yeah, Brazil, butt lifts. What else do we got?
Yeah. What other country would you go for?
Like surgery?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably
You gotta be very careful.
Turkey. If I were to lose my hair, like you know, I'm sure that I have to look that up. I wonder why like
You can
butt
put a
lifts,
wig on, like a toupee.
like a perm too. I get a perm.
You can. Well, not if you lose all your hair. But you could do a little like a toupee that they could put on a little bit and glue it somehow.
They look so fake. Those things. Like I don't like.
You'll just put a little gel in it.
Gel in a toupee.
Like this. Like they did in Bensonhurst years ago.
I put so much gel in my hair. I have curly hair, and like my hair, like
Yeah.
what I do in the morning
You
is
don't
pretty.
like your curly hair.
No, it looks like.
Is it like loose curls or is it?
Yeah, like it's like sloppy. Like you know, like I have to like there's no way to brush it. Like I have to like if I jump out of the shower and I don't like brush my hair or anything, like it'll just curl up and get all crazy.
You don't like it that
So
way.
I just kind of just do this, like take a glob of gel and then I take like a fine tooth comb, like a rake, like I rake my hair every morning. It's so easy.
Do you look in the mirror very often to see how you look?
Yeah,
Why is that?
because I want to see if I look the part for the day.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a certain part to look.
Yeah, like sometimes if I get the alfalfa in my hair, I want to make sure that it's gelled down. So I'll take like another glob of gel. And I'll just.
Do you carry the gel with you in your back pocket?
No, sometimes I got I'll use like WD-40, keep that shine going.
The shine.
Yeah, the slick back hair is a good look. I like the slick back hair.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks I'm like 100% Sicilian when they see it. It's not true. I think I'm like 15%, which I don't know how that makes sense because like one side of my family is like. My dad's side we have like 100 and something family members, and they're pretty much all Sicilian. And then my mom's side is that's where I got like most of my genetics is the Ashkenazi side.
Right.
Like it came up. I lived my whole life thinking I was Sicilian. I took a 23andMe. I'm like, oh, like I'm over 50% Ashkenazi Jew. That's weird the way those genetics work. And my sister took one, and she was something completely different.
Maybe she's not your sister.
No, like we were the same types of things,
What
but
do you
like
mean?
there was like different percentages as far as what we were. It was strange.
Really? Because I did that ancestry DNA,
Yeah.
and We had almost the same thing with my brother. Why wouldn't we?
Uh-oh.
Huh. Are you sure your sister is your sister?
I would hope so.
I don't know. Does it really matter?
At this point, probably not.
Okay.
At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna give her a car. If like I found out that we weren't like related, I would probably keep the car.
It's all right. It showed like I'm like 89 Ashkenazi.
89.
89 Ashkenazi.
That's like a weird number. How did they like get that 89?
The rest was like Iberian. I have Iberian in me.
I have Asian. Like I'm like 0.5%
Yeah,
Asian.
less than 5% I'm Asian.
Like that's because of Genghis Khan.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I'm happy that you know that. You're very well informed.
What do you mean?
Like you're knowledgeable. Like that's usually when I say like if you have Asian, that's because of Genghis Khan. People are like, who's Genghis Khan? Like how do you not know? That's your great grandfather.
Yeah,
That's what
that's what I told my father.
He
This is
pillaged
why-
our villages.
Yeah.
And really went off on our people.
Yeah.
Like my poor great grandmother caught it by Genghis.
Yeah.
Which is cool. He was an alpha male, so
He gave it to her.
he did. Shoulders back, complete control. You know.
Here we are.
And here we are.
Here we are. You're here.
Yeah, that's probably. I think I have the warrior genes, probably because of good old Genghis.
Yeah.
If I have a son, I would love to name him Genghis. That's just a powerful name.
Work on a woman first before that son.
I know.
To name
I'm
Genghis. I mean, it sounds like some kind of virus.
Would you? It does sound like a virus or a king that pillages villages and takes them over. Yeah.
Takes them over.
Do I have an accent?
I think we're gonna send you over that bridge again.
Yeah. Do I have an accent?
There it goes again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have an accent. Your accent is very different than my accent.
You have a New York accent a little bit.
I do, but not yours.
Is mine like thick?
Yeah.
I can't tell because
Like
I'm among New Yorkers all day.
New Yorkers, right? Like say dog.
Dog.
No, say dog the way you're supposed to say dog.
Dog. Is that how you're supposed to say it?
Dog?
Yeah.
Who says dog?
Dog. That's how you say it. Dog. It's a
Not
dog.
dog.
Yeah, but that's how you say it. It's dog. Like how do people in like
And
South
how
Carolina
do you say your roof?
My roof?
Yeah, your roof.
My roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't say rough.
Rough?
Yeah.
What are we, Friday?
No, in like Buffalo.
You ever seen Next Friday? Look at my roof.
No, I don't watch movies like that.
Really?
Yeah,
What
they're
kind of movie?
scary.
Friday? It's with Ice Cube and Mike Epps.
Oh, I'm thinking about
Jason Voorhees?
Yeah, that's what came to me right away.
No, like Ice Cube and Mike Epps. You haven't seen Friday? Next Friday?
No.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you should watch that tonight when you go home.
Okay.
You should. What's your favorite? What are your favorite like movies? But then we're going into crazy topics right now. What are your top 3 movies? I'll give you mine after you though. I want to hear it.
Like old movies?
Just anything.
I like.
That's the most generalized
I like
question.
Steel Magnolias. I love that movie. You probably never even heard of it. For fuck's sake.
That sounds like a steel fabricating shop.
No, it's a very touching but yet funny movie. Shirley MacLaine is in it. It's good to see.
2 and 3. Give me something like I would know, not Steel Magnolia.
I don't know. You think I have time to sit and watch TV?
I try sometimes.
I moved and I didn't even put my TV up.
Really?
Yeah, it's still in my garage.
Do you?
I use my pad to watch whatever I need to watch.
I feel like you're staying your TV.
I feel like since I haven't had my TV, I've had more peace. The news doesn't come on.
Yeah, but wouldn't the phone like give you stuff you don't want to hear? I had to like hashtag things on like the internet of like politics. I don't want to hear that.
I don't. None of that. I don't look at any of that.
Yes.
If I am interested in what's happening in the world, I'll quickly look, but it's never good.
Isn't that unfortunate? They never like report good things.
No, they don't. When was the last time you heard something that was positive?
Knicks win game
on
2.
ABC. What?
Knicks win game 2.
Okay, that's positive for you?
Very.
I didn't even know they played.
Die hard Knicks. Okay. 76ers. You should watch it. It's riveting.
Oh yeah, that's very exciting.
It is. So like.
I'll be sleeping in 5 minutes.
So you ever been to Madison Square Garden?
No, it's a matter. Well, yes, but not for like.
Or would you go for like Billy Joel?
It was years ago. I remember I went to Madison Square Garden with my even with my parents.
Yeah.
Like years ago.
Do you remember like for what event?
No. Like a really long time ago.
That place is like you just feel it the minute you walk in.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's amazing
Yeah.
in there. But like I'm a big Knicks fan, so like I just keep finding myself on social media, like just getting on these pages, and it's weird. Like I after the game, I went nuts when the Knicks won, and then they caught me like on something called Side Talk. I woke up the next day like scrolling through TikTok. I'm like, oh, there's me. I was on top of a barricade screaming and yelling. That's like the one thing that makes me truly happy in this world, the New York Knicks.
Yeah?
Yeah, but they just lose every year. They just don't win. I feel like when the Knicks win, my energy will just be...
What is it about
It would be so good you wouldn't even be able to contain
Why?
it.
Why? What's so exciting about it?
I feel like
Why do you love them?
Are you a fan of any like team specifically?
No.
Well, when you're a fan of a team for a while that loses, when they finally win, it makes it very special.
Like the Giants.
Well, they won.
Well, I'm
in
talking
my
about
lifetime.
like years back when I used to watch. You know.
Like they won in 2010, 12.
They won against the Bills.
They did.
They did.
Good.
Norton.
Yes.
Norton missed the goal.
Yeah, the upright.
Yep.
Good.
He kicked and it went.
you know.
And you know how I remember that?
How do you remember that?
I was in college. I was in Buffalo, and I was the only one that was wearing a Giants
Oh,
jersey.
they wouldn't like. You know, they're very friendly up there. Those Buffalo people.
I love Buffalo.
Yeah,
I haven't been there in years, but I truly love Buffalo. It's a great town.
They're nice.
Know.
They're nice people.
Good people, and architecture is great. Their wings are amazing.
You know where people are really nice? Indiana. That's a weird one, right?
He had to go to Indiana.
Hoosier hospitality. They're very nice there.
I'm not going into Indiana. We're not having this conversation about Indiana.
What the hell happened in Indiana?
It just seems like everything keeps happening in Indiana.
Like what?
Like everything. Like everything in my personal life somehow leads to Indiana. You know?
That's
Very
shocking
strange.
that I just brought up Indiana and
Yeah.
that specific
Like out of
state.
all the states, you could have said you had to bring up Indiana.
I would
Sore spot
love to
for
hear
me.
one thing that happened in Indiana.
No, I'm not telling you.
Who you tell?
It's very personal.
Has this something to do with the guy?
Yeah.
Was he an ass?
He had an ass.
Oh, did he have a BBL?
No, he didn't have a BBL.
All right, thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, I would go with a guy who has a BBL.
I don't know. We're just getting to know each other.
No.
You said that 3 times, and now I'm saying it.
No. No.
You think guys get
But my-
BBLs?
Do I think guys get BBLs? Yeah, if they want a bigger ass. And if that's what they want, that's okay too, you know?
No, yeah, it's cool.
Listen,
Oh,
to
I
each
got you.
his own. Whatever anybody wants to do. Let me tell you something. When you have surgery, there's scar tissue involved. And that scar tissue causes a warping in your energy field.
Really? What about
Yes.
tattoos? Do they do that?
I'm not sure, but
Because the
something.
needle just constantly...
Could be. I have
Poking.
to check that out. I'm not sure.
You gotta get back to me on that.
Yeah, I'll get back to you. Why, you're going to take them all off? Look at, you're all tattooed.
No, that's
It
impossible.
looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay.
You sure you like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would like.
You know, I grew up
tattoo.
with women that were all Ashkenazi Jewish, and they hated tattoos. I know you don't like my tattoos. I know you think I would
No,
look a lot
that's
better.
not true
I would look better without
because
them.
my son is tattooed. My stepson is tattooed. My brother is tattooed. My grandfather was tattooed. My grandfather,
Yes,
at
that's it.
12 years old, got a tattoo. He wrote Mila on his fingers.
He loved you.
He was 12, for fuck's sake.
No. Wait.
He was 12 years old. He got a tattoo.
You said
on
your
his-
grandfather?
My grandfather, when he was 12 years old, he got a tattoo with Mila on his fingers. He was 12
Did he-
years old. He fell in love with a girl named Mila, and he tattooed her name.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And then you're Mila.
I am.
Whoa.
Whoa.
He loved that girl that much. That's intense.
Yeah.
And
He
then-
also did other tattoos, but you know.
What else was there?
He had an anchor because he was in the,
Navy.
you know, he must have been in the Navy. Not really sure.
Probably with an anchor.
With an anchor.
Yeah. I think
With
so.
the year that he was born, 1922.
No, that's just like an American traditional tattoo. That's what these are.
Yeah.
On the neck. Yeah.
And then he had one on his leg that he started. It was a face that he started and he couldn't finish.
So it was a half face.
It was a half face. And the funny thing is, my son tried to do one, you know, a selfie.
Yeah.
And he said, it was too painful, so I stopped.
The tattoo?
Yeah. But then he got another one to cover it up.
Yeah, they're awful. Midway through my last one on my neck, for some reason, like the nerve endings on this side was worse than the nerve endings on this side. Midway through, he's like, "How you doing, man? You good?" It's like, "No, I'm not good. I'm miserable right
It's
now."
probably so painful.
Like, could you finish, please? You know? And that's like, it's like 4 hours under the needle of that, just like that feeling.
Oh, with you laying there.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's terrible, especially like here. Didn't it feel like you're being choked?
It wasn't that bad.
Terrible.
The middle of the neck.
I don't know. You know, I took my kids to Poland, and we visited Auschwitz. I took them through Europe.
It was actually really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it was very, you know, it was very interesting to see.
Yeah, well, not cool what happened, but like cool that.
Well, yeah,
history,
I mean, the
know.
history to go see it and to really, you know, go through it. It was very, for me, it was very powerful, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, we went to Poland, and my kid decided that he was going to go get his first tattoo. He was like 16. Yeah, he was like 16 years old, and so we're sitting there having dinner, and he says, "Ma, because I love you and because you've always been there," and he opens up his like right side of his shirt, and there I see Mila.
Oh.
Like in big letters.
But that's nice,
and I'm
though.
screaming, "Which Polak did this?"
That was. That's funny. In the restaurant?
Yeah.
Did you get kicked out?
No, I didn't get kicked out. It was, you know.
That's sweet though. That's like a really nice tattoo to get.
Really? Because
your
now.
grandpa had it.
Yeah, because now he's gonna marry some woman eventually, and then all the time she's gonna have to look at Mila.
Yeah, but that's his mama. That's what he's gonna say. She probably doesn't want to think about you though.
Exactly.
In that sense.
You know, she goes to get like cozy into his chest and by his heart, and there she looks over and bam,
at least she's gonna know to
There's
act
her
right.
mother-in-law again.
Like, yeah, act right. You better act right. You're always present. You're always present.
Yeah.
I usually just like, yeah, every time like a tattoo gets old, I just get another one. That's like my method. I'm running out of room.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Would you get one like in a very like private part?
Like on my ass?
Yeah. Would you get one there if you run out of space?
I would get one there if like my whole leg, like up to my thigh, up to my ass cheek was done. Yeah, but I wouldn't get like a tattoo on my ass.
Would you get one on your face?
No.
You wouldn't do like a teardrop or...
Well, no, because I never murdered anybody.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that means murder.
Oh my god.
I used to be...
What about a crab? I've seen a guy...
crab?
A crab. I saw a guy...
Like Krusty Krab?
No, like a crab. Krusty Krab. Like a crab. Shellfish crab.
On somebody's face?
A tattoo. Right here. What does that mean?
That means that person got a crab on his face. There's
That's it? There's no meaning to it. Okay.
That
Well, I
person's
thought I didn't know
probably-
that here. You see, you told me something
That person
today.
needed therapy. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
A crab on their face.
I'm not judgmental. I don't really care what people
I'm not judgmental
have,
either.
what they are, how they are, why they are. I don't care. You know, to each his own. I'm the way I am. If you want to have like, you know, tattoos, gray hair, you know, green hair, piercing up your nose, it's okay with me too.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't judge, but if you have a crab on your face, I might inevitably just naturally judge somebody.
I mean, it's right there.
So one time I was in a tattoo shop in Brooklyn, and there was a stencil of a Heineken cap. So like tattoo artists, what they do is they stencil something, like, you know, or they print it out and then they put it on somebody, and that's how they do it. So I said, what moron, this is how dumb I am, I said, what moron jerk-off would get a Heineken cap tattoo on him? Then I turned around, and there he was, a guy getting the Heineken thing right on his hand. And I had to sit there after and like look at this guy for 2 hours. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. It's a really cool tattoo. It's not, but I had to say it. He's like, yeah, you know, I just wanted it.
You took it back.
I didn't mean it, though. It wasn't genuine. I thought it was a stupid tattoo.
You should have told him that it's not for you. You
It
shouldn't have said anything. You should have kept quiet.
was already on his body.
Nobody was asking for your opinion.
They weren't. But I thought it would have been funny, like that was an old stencil. I should have known that if it was present on top of the printer and there was a guy getting tattooed right there, I should have probably put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
I have like spacey moments.
I see that.
Yeah, I have moments.
I see.
I have my moments. Yeah.
We all have our moments.
I
There's
need
nothing
like,
wrong
I
with
think
it.
I just need more sleep, and then maybe I'll smarten up a little bit. Maybe the IQ will jump up a good 10 points.
Oh, I think you're just smart enough.
Like just enough.
Do you get just enough?
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least I'm just smart enough.
Yeah, that's good.
That is. I don't need to be a genius.
No.
I just need to just be on a level playing field with everybody else. Yeah.
You should just be you.
Right. This is like what I'm meant for. Podcasting.
Yeah?
I think I am. I think it's turning out, so far it's been going really well. Like the guests come on here and they're just happy to like talk. Usually people get a little nervous before they come on because like, you know, because I don't have topics. and I don't write anything down. So like sometimes usually people are like, all right, what the hell are we gonna talk about? I'm like, be you.
Yeah.
That's what I tell them right before. I was like, be you. There's no topics.
Right.
Inevitably, if somebody owns a business like yourself, or you know, a lot of people that are coming on that own businesses, I'll kind of jump off with that, just you know, so they can promote their brand. But after that, I'm like,
yeah. Let me tell you my business's name. Ready? It's Inner Wisdom Holistic Healing.
I like that.
Do you like that?
I do. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Mine's
Even
Intentionally Unintelligent.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it.
Intentionally Unintelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
You thought of it?
I did.
How long did it take you to think of it?
I don't know. I was driving I was driving home one day and like I popped in my head that I did a podcast previous to this, and I felt like I just did really well on it. I was good at like moderating it, and like I kind of carried it. And I said I'm gonna start my own. I'm gonna give it a shot. So I was thinking about names. I was gonna do like the world class moron or like whatever.
Why so negative?
I think it's funny. The world class moron. Who doesn't want to get interviewed by a moron? Except for maybe
Me.
you. Joke's on you. We're already recording. So I'm going to end off with one question for you.
Oh, God.
One question. So you have your business where it is now. If you were to like grow it to a certain point, is there anything else you would want to open? Or like what's your goals for your business in the next 10 to 15 years? Like what point do you want to bring it to?
You know, I don't know where this business is going to take me because I've done so much with it. You know, I've done more with it than I ever thought that I would. It started off as, you know, like a word of mouth. I have clients that come in to see me inside the office.
Yeah.
I also do a lot of virtual sessions with people all over the world, you know, Canadians, UK, Finland, Chile.
So you might like take it overseas maybe.
So yeah, you know, I don't know where it's going to take me. I do enjoy the podcasting. I do. Talking about certain topics.
Did you ever want to start your own?
I don't know. You know.
I feel like you're a natural at it. You're really a conversationalist. Yeah. I think you
I'm
should.
a people person, right?
And then you should have me on yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should do a live.
Like on TikTok.
On TikTok, and I should do a virtual clearing on you. And if you start to cry like a freaking baby, you better make sure it's genuine.
Like I'm not faking the cry?
Yeah, there's no faking anything.
Alright. Yeah, I'll do it.
I don't like fake.
Me either.
You know?
That's
I don't do fake.
That's the vibe in this thing. Just don't be fake. Don't come
No,
on here
you
and
just
pretend.
have to be yourself.
Don't pretend to be something you're not.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, Mila, I really appreciate you coming
Thank
on.
you.
Thank you. This
Thank
is
you
great.
for having me.
I was excited for this one.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
This is going to do well.
It is.
And I wish you all of the luck, you know, in
Thank
all
you.
of your
seriously.
endeavors.
What you do is really important, and like on a serious note, you know, it's wonderful what you do for people.
Thank you.
I hope it keeps going.
Thanks.
All right.
I appreciate it.
All right, guys. It's a wrap.